I'm looking. I'm looking. Looks like I got two of them on here. It says after WNL. See, just one of them glitches. See where it says two of them? I'm going to have to go in there after I'm done talking here. I'm going to have to go in there and delete one of those. It's always something. Hey, Kevin, what's up, man? Hey, Cindy, how are you? I want to talk a little bit about the show last night. You two were there. I don't know how many you're going to. This is unannounced. I didn't even decide to do this until 5 minutes ago. Went in there and made me a cup of coffee and thought I'd come out here and sit down and chat for just a second. I'm just waiting for a few more people to get on here. I don't know how many's going to come on here when they don't expect you. You know me. I'm full of surprises. I just pop up when I'm not supposed to pop up, and guarantee you I'm going to get 2 or 3 emails saying, you should warn people. You should put up a little notice. I normally do, but once in a while something's on my mind, and I just feel like sitting here and talking to you to get your ideas about things and whatever. Sometimes I do this just for you guys that know or don't know. On my YouTube members, I can go there and go live for YouTube members only. And I do that a lot to talk to them to get their ideas about things because they are members. They do support my channel with their memberships. And so I go there sometimes to talk to them to find out about things. And that sometimes influences me on, how do I put it, the path that the channel takes. Well, I'll find this here in just a minute. Good Lord. I have no idea why I can't find it. I'm like you. I'm not getting notified, I don't think. I'm looking on my email. That's where I should be notified, and there's nothing there. Am I in the right spot? Huh. Well, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Now I got the. Oh. Here we are. Let me turn it down so you don't have to get. I never get notified by email. I know. Well, I do. I generally get notified all the time, but this time I did not. It's a YouTube thing. It ain't me. It's a YouTube thing. All you can do is subscribe. Double check every now and then to make sure you are subscribed. I don't have to be subscribed, obviously, because it's my channel. You know, it should always notify me. So the rest of you, you know, just double check once in a while. Make sure that, because YouTube at the first of the year, every year, they make tons of changes of everything you can imagine, from audio quality to how many videos, the length of a video you can post, to the whether you can post a 4K video or whatever the case may be. They make all kinds of changes. And when they do make those changes, and I've seen it happen many times, and I talk to other YouTube creators that tell me it happens on their channels too, sometimes the people that were subscribed all year long get unsubscribed because of the changes YouTube made. And the quick fix is, I just tell people every now and then, just check. Look down there and see if you're subscribed. If you are, fine, don't worry about it. If you're not, just click it again. It's frustrating, I know, but you know, that's an easy fix anyway. WNL show last night. I thought, now maybe it's just me, I'm just going to tell you my perspective of it, and then I want your honest comments about this. Don't be mean about it, but I want your comments. I thought the show was pretty good for what it was. We had 2 guests on that were totally different. One of them is one of them that I've been trying to get, not this particular person, but to get volunteers to come on the show to talk about why they did not buy into villages. You know, there's 101 interviews out there of people that moved to the villages, and they got nothing but good things to say. And you've heard all them videos, but I kept sitting here, because you know me, I'm always looking for something different. I kept sitting there thinking, but there's also 101 people out there that chose not to buy here for whatever reasons they had. And I would love to get those people on the air to explain, what is it about the villages that you decided not to come here for? Only because there might be something that new people that hasn't bought here yet may not have thought about. You know, we've all heard all the different reasons why you want to be here, and there's 101 of those. But there's also 101 reasons why some people may not want to be here. And we've heard none of those. And so I thought when Kelly came on last night, first of all, she's brave to do that. Most people don't like coming on live shows. I get it somewhat. We try to make it as easy as possible. I know people get nervous about coming on because the system I use, it's really an easy system. It's not a big deal. It's kind of like Zoom, but it ain't Zoom. It's a little different, but it's not. I wish I could get these people to explain to you, but it's not that hard to sign on. We usually do a pre-show systems check. That the reason why we do that is to make sure that you know how to do it. So we also want to make sure your microphone works on whatever system you're using. Like right now, I'm just using this iPad out here. Nothing fancy at all. But the truth is, what I'm using right here, an iPad, where the microphone and the camera works, you could use this to come on the show. Or if you want to use a cell phone, you can do that. You can see me right here. You can use the cell phone. Just make sure you turn it sideways like that. And make sure you have it on a stand. Well, I'm plugged the camera. Make sure it's on a stand so the camera's facing you. And if you can, set it somewhere where it's steady. And you don't want the camera down here looking up. If anything, you want the camera up here looking down. This one here is pretty much pointed straight at me. And that's fine too. But you see the ceiling? That's what we try to stay away from. Actually, if I could raise this up and show you, it's a much better view if it's up here like this, looking down. Of course, you see crap back there, but you know what I'm getting at. When it's down like this, looking up, and then the more it looks up, it's bad. And laptops are really bad about that. Oh, crap. Here I am getting ready to knock this thing over. Laptops are bad about that. And so that's what Systems Check is all about, to kind of help position things where it's better. Maybe not perfect, but better. What's the matter with this thing? It's moving. So, yeah, looking up nostrils is kind of, you know. But, hey, we don't care all that much. It's not a big deal. We just like to have the people on the show. So my question to you was, with the different guests that we've had over the years, and we've had a lot of them, some really good, to be honest with you, this thing keeps moving. I'm going to tighten this thing up. It keeps sliding around. We've had some guests where, to be honest with you, that if I had to do over again, I probably would have went on the show with no guests at all, because they were, to me, when they came on the show, they didn't provide some of the stuff that we had talked about before the show. And they came on the show, and what they were talking about didn't really coincide. But once you're on the show, what am I going to do? I try to cut it short. So anyway, the other problem that I have on the show, and I'm just explaining to myself because I get so many nasty emails about certain things that they don't get what's going on. This is not $1 million show. Nobody pays us to put on this show. It's all volunteers. All the girls volunteer, the guests volunteer to come on and take questions and things. People are always saying that I'm always butting in and that I need to quit butting in. They want to hear what people's got to say. Well, when we're on the show's long enough. It takes 2 hours to do a show. I'd like to cut that down to 1 hour, you know. Boy, I tell you, that's tough to get guests and let them explain themselves and say what they want to say, and then try to do some villages update news about new stuff going on here and there and that kind of thing. So it's hard for me to keep things rolling. And when you have the game going on, and listen, I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to explain a little bit. And when you got the games going on, you got Linda and you got Judy and you got Jose or Hosey, as we like to call him, and they're into the game. They get to talking over one another. Sometimes two and three of them are talking at the same time, and I'm sitting there going, I'm looking at the clock. See, they're not. I'm looking at the clock. And I got a schedule over here that you guys don't see. At 8:45, we need to do this. At 7:45, we need to do that to keep it moving on, to get it done within that 2 hour limit. And so I do butt in. And I say, hey, we got to go. We got to keep things moving here. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just looking at the clock because you guys aren't going to watch a 2 hour show. 99% of you do not watch a 2 hour show. And I understand that. Some people on the analytics, they know when we do the game. They know toward the end of the shows when we do a game. And you'll be surprised as how many people show up at the end of the show. They know. And that's okay. I don't care. But I'm always watching that clock. And I don't know if I could ever get it toned down to 1 hour. I just don't. Because 2 hours sometimes is a struggle just to get things rolling. So I guess my question to you guys is, and you can post it here, you can send an email, I don't care, is 2 hours too long? I think it is. I mean, I've been doing this now for 3 years on this show. Every month for 3 years, almost 3 years of shows. Actually been over 3 years, but we've only done 33 shows because I took March off last year to go to Rockport, and the year before that, and the year before that. And and when I go down there this year, I'm not going to do a WNL show either. So that's where the missing shows are at. I don't know really which way to go here because 2 hours seems too long. I know people, I look at the analytics, I know people aren't watching 2 hours. I like to get it down to an hour, but if I get it down to an hour, you see the problem I'm going to have rolling the show so fast to get this information in that I feel like we're going to end up cutting something and I don't know what we're going to cut. What do I cut? The game? People seem to like the game. What do I cut? The Village's updates, Jose's updates about what's happening up in the Spanish Springs area. Judy's updates on some of the new stuff going on down somewhere to get it down to an hour. We've got to move fast. We won't be able to really comment on any of the comments. And then, of course, the super chats, the super stickers is very important on that show. I mean, I can't even express to you how important that is for the games, for next month's game. So do I cut that out? I don't know where to cut if I want to get it down to an hour. Or should I just leave it the way it is? Just do the 2 hours and do the best we can do and not worry about it. The reason why I'm bringing that up, each one of you can do one thing if you want to. Go to any of the WNL shows, any of them, and look at them after they've been up for, say, a month. And you will rarely find any of the WNL shows that get over 1,500 views. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort, and hardly no views at all, which tells me that most people don't like watching it. The only ones that really like watching it are the ones that actually come to it. So I don't know which way to go there. I told you guys I was going to start making changes, and I am. And the thought has actually been in my mind, should I just cut the WNL show out? Just be done with it. It's just too much time, too much effort for everybody, and do away with it. I mean, would you miss it? Do you look forward to it? I need some brutal honesty here of what to do, because I almost feel like at 1,500 views, what's the point? Well, here's what I fall back on, and I don't know what to do about this either. If we decide to cut the WNL show altogether, just do away with it, then what are we going to do about the Wish Foundation, the Wish Fund that I do on Christmas on that show? It's a dilemma. I almost feel like I got to keep the show just to be able to do that. But if I do away with the show, then how do I do that? I don't know. Because I feel like if I only do it once a year, people will forget that the show's even happening once a year. and it'll just be a lot of effort for nothing, and so anyway, that's where I'm at. I just want to let you guys know where I'm at on it. And like I say, I need brutal honesty. Don't be mean about it, but if the show sucks, I need to know because I'm from the inside looking out, and what I look at is saying, well, I think it was a pretty decent show last night, and I do, but I know that my opinion really is kind of biased. It's just like when you buy a home in the village. Just ask anybody, what's the best village to live in? They're all biased. They're all going to tell you theirs. You can do WNL every other month. Well, I know I could, but then you kind of lose timing. You got to remember, my biggest audience is people 65 years old and older, and their memory isn't much better than mine. And every other month, I'll tell you what, once a month is almost hard. Even Jose yesterday, and he's part of the team. He sends me an email saying, hey, is WNL tonight? It's been the last Wednesday of each month for as long as I can remember since the day we started, and I still, to this day, will get emails saying, well, it's the fourth Wednesday of the month, right? They keep saying that. It's not the fourth Wednesday of the month. It's the last Wednesday of the month, and you have to remember that because some months have 5 weeks or 5 Wednesdays. So that's why I say the last Wednesday, not the fourth Wednesday. And it's just hard to, I don't know what to do about a lot of this stuff to kind of things settle down. And it's just like porch setting. Let me tell you a little funny story. I get these all the time, but this was a little funny. Well, kind of funny, kind of sad and funny, kind of. I take it with a grain of salt. We did porch setting this week, and maybe I seemed a little cranky. I don't know. I'm just always goofing around. People that follow me for a long time know that I goof around all the time. I always goof around on Sue, always. Even when we're not on the air, I goof around with her all the time. It's just, I've done that we've been married now 52 years. So, it's just what I do. We'll drive down the road, and I'll pick on her about her driving. And I say, you drive like an old lady, If you didn't know me, you might think I'm being insulting and stuff, and I'm not. I'm just messing around. I got an email the day after porch setting, which tells me they probably didn't watch porch setting live. They probably watched the replay, which is fine. She sends me an email. I couldn't find it, or I was going to read it to you. I don't know what I've done with it. I even looked in my trash. I couldn't find it. So anyway, it said something to the point of watching us sitting on porch setting and bickering back and forth is getting too hard for her to watch, or it's hard for her to watch. And she says, and with me zeroing in on something, I forget exactly how she put it, she said, I think you need to go in and be checked out for dementia or possible early Alzheimer's. And she said, Sue has all the patience in the world with you. She said, and I think she needs to start doing this or that because she has a life too, and you're not in control of that. And it goes on. And I'm really going, yeah, Sue needs marriage advice from you. 52 years of it, I think she knows exactly what she's doing. And I get these once in a while, and I read them, and I just shake my head. I said, here, it goes back to what I said before. The person that sent me that is 70 years old or older, or right in that age. Because at 70 years old, I've noticed around here, some people lose their sense of humor. They don't have it anymore. And you have to be very careful on what you say when you're joking around. I saw it on the golf course. They have no sense of humor anymore. It disappears. So that's why I'm always leery about what I say and how I say it. But in the long run, I'm just me. I mean, I could put on an act like some people do here. I could come on YouTube and go, hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day. It is beautiful here today. Just another gorgeous day in the villages. Our lifestyle here is so wonderful. There are so many things to do. I could do this. But those of you that follow me know that ain't me. I'm going to tell you how it is, where it is, and why it is. And you can take it the way you want it. You know, I always reiterate that by saying, just remember, no matter how you take what I say, I still live here. I haven't went anywhere. You know. So what do you think about the WNL show? Cut it? Leave it alone? Shorten it to an hour if I can? I'm at a dilemma with it because it's getting really, really hard to do these things. Because I think I've already told you guys in all my videos, I'm about, I won't say 100% to an end, but my videos are going to slow way down because, well, what it really boils down to is that nobody's watching them anymore like they used to. Everybody's watching all the new channels and they're leaving mine. So, and if they want to, that's fine. But I don't want to waste my time. So I'm thinking about cutting it. That's why I've started doing more and more live, like porch setting, WNL. I really do enjoy doing that. The problem with WNL is guests. I almost wish I had never started bringing guests on because now it's got to the point people expect a guest. And it's getting harder and harder to find, once again, somebody that's willing to come on live and, you know, push their wares, so to speak. Talk about what they've got to sell and why you should buy it or whatever. It's just getting hard. So, and then sponsorships, you know, I've tried to get a couple of sponsors to put sponsorships on the WNL just to help move that channel along a little bit. And you can't even get them to do that. Everybody wants something for nothing. And YouTube's got that reputation where you can watch all this stuff for nothing, and you can. But I got to tell you, I don't care who you watch or anything like that. You really need to support your channel because there's things going on that the viewer doesn't really know. Support, even in any small way, of any channel you watch is really important. If they offer that, some people don't even offer it. I think you got to have, what is it, at least 1,000 subscribers to be able to do some of this stuff. I've lost track of all that. Sam Z 1069. You need a dog. That ain't no kidding, Sam. I get the humor there, but you're exactly right. I've told a lot of YouTubers that came down here and want to start a channel. They said, "What can I do to help get my channel to grow?" And I said, "Well, first of all, I'll bring you on my WNL show, and you can talk about your channel and the address to it and what it's going to be about and where you live and blah blah blah." Second thing is, if you have a pet, bring the pet on the channel with you. People will subscribe to your channel and watch your videos just to see how the pet's doing. You know, I got that from some expert YouTubers years ago that told me that they learned that. On the RV channel, I'll give you a good example. Go watch Nomadic Fanatic. I've talked to that guy, I don't even know how many times, years ago, and he learned that with his cat. So every video after he learned that, somewhere in that video, he has his cat, and he brings the cat on the video. They all know that. And here's another one, is Camper Van Kevin. That's on the RV channel. Camper Van Kevin. He's got 3 little Yorkie dogs. Whether you like the videos or not makes no difference. Just notice he's always showing these dogs, and he does it in kind of a comical way. And there's other ones that does the same thing. I've just never done that. I really don't like doing clickbait, and that's what it is clickbait. Some people might say that I started putting Sue on porch setting because I'm using her as clickbait. I'm really not. I mean, I can see where you say that, but Sue wanted to do it. The truth is, she sits in here in the living room while I'm out there, and she was watching on her phone, and there was a bunch of stuff on there, and so she was typing a lot. And one day she said, "I think I want to come out there and start doing that with you, so I can answer these questions without typing so much because I can't answer all the questions." I can't answer all the questions typing. I said, "I don't care." So she started coming out there, and you guys like it when she's out there. I see the comments. "Oh, Sue's there. Oh, great. Oh, Sue, I love your blouse. Nobody ever told me I liked my hat." But that's okay. I didn't care. So I wasn't using her as clickbait. even though I can see where somebody might think that. But anyway, I got a lot of irons in the fire of things I want to change. I want to make life a little easier, but I don't want to lose you guys because any of you guys that come to these little live setting talks that we do, chats like port setting, this is a surprise one. So I don't expect a lot of people to show up to this one because, I didn't warn anybody. I'm going to make changes again, once again. And I don't know where to go. I don't know how far to go. And I need you guys to let me know. The videos, like I said, are going to come very, very slow. As of right now, I got a couple things in there I could do, but I don't even want to guarantee you're going to get a video this Monday. I may not even do anything. I am going to do port setting, though. I like doing those. And Friday's news, I will continue to do them for a while. At least as long as I'm watching them, I will do them for a while. But other than that, I'm getting kind of lost in the shuffle, so to speak. When I was the only YouTube channel here, it wasn't so bad. But when now you're just one out of, God, I don't even know how many now. It seems like every week I turn the thing on and I check, and there's 3 or 4 more new ones I never heard of. So anyway, suggestions too. The cameras that I normally use when I'm out and about and running around is my GoPros. I've always said, I've told you guys before, that's my grab and go cameras. I like them. Some people don't like them because of that fisheye effect. That doesn't seem to bother me that much, and I can change them. I do once in a while to linear. For those of you who don't know, if you look on the edge of the screen when I got my videos going with the GoPro, at the very edge of the screen here, you'll see where it goes out like that in a little bit of a circle. And the trees or the doorway or whatever looks crooked, it's really not. But you can change that to linear where it'll stay straight lined like this, but you end up with a black line over here. It brings a picture in. So you see that little black line right there. And I know some of you guys get real frustrated about that. Well, that's what causes that, and there's nothing I can do about that. It just changes it. But those are my grab and go cameras. I really like them. They're small. They're inintrusive. People don't really look at them like they do. I got my big cameras in here. And on the road, I'll use the big cameras, but around town or going into a business or a restaurant, I don't really use them. It just draws too much attention. So that's what I'll probably end up keep using is that. So you guys let me know. Oh, Kelly's on here. Hey, Kelly, I'm talking about you. Thanks for coming on last night, by the way. I got a lot of emails. I think people really appreciated you coming on and explaining the reasons why you did not buy in the villages. And that's fair. I mean, not everybody's going to come here. I've said it 100 times. This place ain't for everybody. Jerry says, why don't I have a moderator video meeting? We could discuss things. I could do that, Jerry. The problem is that some of my moderators, unlike you, I think, work full-time. WrestleMania works full-time. Kevin Jockway works full-time. And it's hard to get everybody together at a specific, I can do it basically any time, but it's hard to get everybody together at a specific time to do all that. And the truth is I haven't tried, but if everybody wants to, yeah, I'll do that. We'll get together on, I'll do it on StreamYard. We'll make it private. That's the way we'll do it. Yeah, 86 viewers. And I appreciate all that, but 86 viewers ain't that many. I think the biggest show, WNL show I've had, and I don't even remember who was on that day, one WNL show a year ago, 2 years ago, whenever it was, we had over 600 viewers on at one time. And it's weird how that works on the analytics. Do a 2-hour show like last night. If you'll look, I think we averaged something like 129 viewers throughout the show. How that works is the show on the analytics, it shows this chart. Show starts here and it goes up like that. Now we're up here at when the show starts, 120 whatever viewers. And it goes over and it goes up and goes down, and it goes up and it goes down. It just does that. It's just like a chart. And what it is, people come in, they watch the first 15 minutes of it. That seems to be the average attention span, 10 to 15 minutes. And then 10 people will leave. About that time, I think 10 people get notified or whatever that the show's on. So now 10 people come in. And then 5 people leave. Then 5 people come in. Then 10 people leave. And 10 people come in. Through the whole show, that's the way it is. Some people come, some people go. By the end of the show, I always go to analytics and change the moderation. During the show, there's no advertisement. But once the show's over, I change the moderation. I don't even know if I changed. Come think about it, I think I forgot. As of right now, the show's still not monetized. But I usually change the moderation so we can get a little bit of revenue and put advertisement on there. Nobody's going to watch 2 hours of something with a bunch of advertisement. But at the end of the show, I'll check that, and it'll say, I don't know, 1,500 views by the end of 2-hour show. Well, that's how many people's come and people's went. But through the show, it's a steady stream of, say, 129 people. Just like right here, it says we have 86. By the end of this, I'll check this, and it may say 286, because some people come, some people go. So anyway, what am I doing here? Some said click like on the video, and that's another thing that I watch too, because that really helps a lot on the analytics for the videos to be recommended. Is most people don't hit the like or the thumbs up button. I think the thumbs up and like button, is that the same button? I gotta plead stupid to this, because here's what I see. Here's what I see, and there is no like button. So I don't know if there's a like button. Now there is a thumbs up button, or is that the like button? I have no idea. But I'll have like 1,500 views on, say, something, and I'll look at the like button, and there's only, say, 50 likes. Where's the other 1,450 likes if they liked any of it? I mean, it's hard. So Kelly says, Susan Skip remind me of Archie and Edith, and that show was a hit. Yeah. Well, in the back of my mind, even though I'm not acting in any way, and Sue's not acting in any way, now you'll see her once in a while. I see it. I don't care. That's fine. She's done it her whole life. She'll roll her eyes at me. I'll say something, and she'll give me one of them. You know, you've seen it. I know you have. That's us. That's the way we've always been. But some people watch that, and I swear to you, they really take offense to it. And who knows how many people they're telling. And then it's just kind of like rumors running wild. I guarantee you that lady that sent me that email is going to tell 100 people, oh, God, don't watch him. He's such an asshole. He talks to his wife like she's dirt, blah, 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 blah. And those 100 people are going to listen to her because that's their friend. And so there's 100 subscribers that I lose right there. So that's what happens. But I don't know what to do. I just don't. I mean, I'm not gonna play games. I'm not gonna fake it. I never have. I never will. I've tried suggestions from other people saying, well, do this and do that. And I've done every one of them up to this point. None of them work. You know, my channel was called Skip Smith The Villages for the longest time. That's the name of my channel, and I just left it that way. And then somebody said the reason why I wasn't getting the subscribers that I needed, he said, because it's Google search. Now he's got my attention because I know what Google search is. He said, when people are Googling the villages, they're not typing in Skip Smith. Light bulb goes off. He said, you need to change the name of your channel where the villages is the first part of whatever name you decide to do. So I thought, well, I'll just change it around then. The villages Skip Smith. We'll see how that works. So I done that. 1 year later, didn't make no difference. It didn't make any difference. It made sense, but it didn't make any difference. So I don't know. I'm not complaining about anything. I'm just talking about I'm going to make changes on the channel. Has nothing to do with subscribers. Has really nothing to do with thumbs up. I just got rambling right there a little bit. I'm going to make changes to the channel. I'm simply asking about the WNL show right now. Is 2 hours too long? Do I need to shorten it to an hour? If I do, then I know where I need to go to work. And then it's just a matter of you guys tell me, what can I cut out of the show that you won't miss? Hard, ain't it? I'll go down here and Cindy says you have 12. The channel is growing, but it's not growing very fast. You know, I get one or two today, and maybe nothing tomorrow, and then I might get 3 or 4 the next day, and then nothing for 2 days, and then get one, and then every now and then you'll lose one, and you know, it's just one here, one there. I am growing, but at a super. Listen, I've been doing this full time since 2000, and I'm gonna say 14. I'm coming up on 9 years of cutting videos. Well over 1,000. I don't even know how many now. 1,400, 1,500 videos, not including the lives. That's videos. And that doesn't include the videos that I've marked private that you can't see anymore. And I have my reason for doing that. I should be a lot bigger than I am, and I know it. And there's reasons why I'm not, and I know what some of those reasons are. So I'm just going to try to trim things down and make life a little easier because it just ain't going the way I want it to go. And so I got to make cuts. Listen, every time Dick and Harry down here in the news section is cutting videos on the news section, and I don't even want to do it anymore. So there's not even reason to discuss it. I don't want to do it anymore. So I got Judy that she can go down there and do some of that and bring it to the WNL show once a month. Every time Dick and Harry is going to a square and videoing that stuff at the square, I used to do that. I don't want to do it anymore. I mean, I just don't want to do it. If they want to do it, let them do it. I don't want to do any restaurant reviews. We started doing that years and years ago, and now everybody else is wanting to do it. So if Sue wants to do it, that's fine. I'm not going to do it. So it's getting down to where, what do I do if I want to stay here in the villages and continue videos? What do I do? So the live stuff is some of the things that I'd like to do with guests, commercial people, landscapers, people that, I don't know, insurance companies, which we've had all these people on. The medical expert's one of the best. I just wish he had better Wi-Fi. But when it comes to information about Medicare and Social Security, man, he's one of the best. And then we've, of course, had real estate people on like Ira Miller and Robin and some other people like that. But they've all got their own YouTube channels now to where I'm not sure it benefits them to come on my show at all. I don't know where I'm going. I'm kind of lost here in the shuffle. I think the direction of the thumb effectively does the same thing algorithm-wise. I don't think the thumb has anything to do with the algorithm because you can't do anything with a thumb. You can't comment on a thumb. The only thing a thumb does is invites you try to make it interesting enough. That's what the thumb's for, to make it interesting enough with either the colors on the thumb that get your attention or something on the thumb that got your attention enough to where you would click on the thumb to go to that video. In that case, you're true, that you clicked on it. So that may affect the algorithm a little bit by clicking on it, but from what I'm seeing in the algorithms, it keeps track of everything else. One, how long did you watch that video? It knows to the second how long each one of you watch a video. Two, it keeps track of who fast forwards through any area. They'll fast forward through this or they'll fast forward through that. There's a lot of, they keep track of that. 3, how many thumbs up, how many likes, how many comments. Basically, that's it. Oh, views. It does keep track of views too. Did 1,500 people watch it? And it keeps track by the hour. The first hour, you got this many views. By the second hour, you got that many views. The first 24 hours, you got this many views. And then it ranks that video to the rest of your videos that you've got. And it's a complicated thing to keep up with it, but that's supposed to help me to see where it is I'm gaining ground or where it is I'm losing ground. And I don't know. I just don't really see. I don't see that much interaction. And here's the interesting thing: that it doesn't rank the thumbs downs. It only ranks video where people react to a video of any way. How many people reacted to your video? So if you give me a thumbs down, that's a reaction to the video. And I think actually by algorithm wise, a thumbs down is good. It shows that somebody reacted to my video. As dumb as that may sound. Back to badge. Yeah. The news can be kind of funny sometimes. Like, well, you haven't seen it for next week yet, but I'm gonna give you a little clue on next Friday's video because I already got it done for the news. There was a lady in the Villages that got arrested for eating meatballs. Watch it. I can't help myself. When I see them, I just got to post them. Gunther Flume says, keyword is always, not many, stand the test of time. This is true, but I don't really want to do videos unless I can offer some kind of information, some kind of helpful information, or something new to my people. I'll just put it that way, my people. And it's getting hard to do that. At first, I could do it because everything that I was providing was basically new to everybody because nobody was doing it. How to buy a house online. How does the Villages do that? Well, I just did all that. And now everybody else is doing it, and I'm just kind of losing steam. Basically, I'm just losing steam to where I just don't want to compete because I feel like I shouldn't have to compete, And I'm not patting myself on the back, but I came up with the ways and the ideas of how to do all this stuff down here, and nobody else did. And they're just taking it away from me, and other people are watching them because, well, one, they're younger. I don't think people like to listen to an old rambling old fart like me anyway. 2, they have a dog or a cat, and 3, they got a wife, and they smile a lot, and they talk about nothing but sunshines and roses, and people want to hear that. But and I don't do a lot of that. So I know there's things that I could probably do to increase things a little bit, like change the name of my channel again. I don't want to do that. And, start smiling a lot. I do smile a lot because I got an evil mind. I'm still 12 years old at heart. I really am. I'm just some kid always thinking about doing some kind of a prank. But people, I keep forgetting who my audience is. And a lot of my audience are people 70 years old that through life events, whatever it may be, pain, suffering, I don't know, they don't have a sense of humor anymore. And so when I say something to irritate Sue a little bit, joking around, they take offense to it. Mark says he would cut back on the game. Well, I can do that, Mark. I mean, I can do away with the whole game, truthfully. I just always thought the game kind of added a little bit of fun, and it gives us a chance to give back to you guys in prizes, I don't know. It just seemed like a good thing to do, and I just kind of made it up. So, I could do away with it. if that's what everybody else wants. See, you're just one person. I need about 100 people to send me emails. If they don't want to put it on here, then send me emails and tell me, do away with the game. They suck. That's fine. Just tell me. Well, thanks, Joy. I mean, I know everybody is struggling with the same stuff that I do too, but they haven't been doing it, since 2000 be 9 years. Let's see how bad they struggle and whine in 9 years of all that wasted effort and stuff, and in 9 more years, think about it. As the village grows, when I was here, I was the only full-time YouTuber, the only one. 9 years later, how many are there? I don't even know. Let's take a guess. Would you say there's at least 50? Let's say there's 50. Just using that number as now, 50. And they haven't even gotten halfway through the newer area down there yet. There's going to be another, 30, 40,000 homes, 50,000 homes being built down there. Out of those 50,000 homes, 2 people per home, that's 100,000 more people. Out of 100,000 more people, there'll be at least 1,000 YouTubers out of that group, at least. And then as they build further south, they build further over by Leesburg, which they've got that property rezoned to Leesburg now to start building over there. How many more? See what I'm getting at? It's just getting to the point where eventually you're going to have this, and that don't even count the YouTubers. Let me throw this in there. That don't count the YouTubers that come in here all the time that don't even live here. And they go through town and they do all kinds of stuff and all kinds of videos, and then they leave and they live somewhere else. And they'll cut YouTube videos for the next month all about the villages, and they don't even live here. And but because of what they have more of a professional team to do things, and you're looking at a one-man show. I do it all. The editing, the filming, all that kind of crap, the time it takes to video and everything. They have a team that goes out and does their stuff, and then they got a professional editing company that edits stuff and puts it together and all this and that. And it really just, I don't know how to put it, it frosts my balls when I see somebody don't even live here come in and cut a 10-minute video, and I look at it. One day later, they have 150,000 views. And they don't even live here. And it's just, I look at it going, what's the point? Just what's the point? Kevin says we can cut the special guests. I can do that too. I can cut anything really, but I don't want to lose interest in the show. And I look at the show as what is the most interesting points of the show using the analytics bar where it goes up and then it goes down. And when it goes down, I can go there and see what time that was that it went down. Then I can go to the video on my computer and I can go to that time and I can see what were we doing at that time where it went down. What were we doing at that time that it went way up? So I can do that. It seems like the most interesting parts of the show are the guests, the games, and I don't know, that seems like the 2 most interesting parts. As far as the reports go from one square to the other, I guess you could take it or leave most of them, but according to the analytics, not the analytics, to my emails and things, everybody loves Jose. Everybody. They love Jose. It doesn't make any difference what he's talking about. They just love Jose. So I'm not going to do away with that. I mean, everybody loves him. Becky says more people need to share them. Well, I can only assume when it comes to YouTube stuff, Becky, here's probably my biggest fault. I assume that everybody that comes to the show or it's on YouTube, they know what they're doing. I don't really talk about it. I don't promote it all that much. I do promote memberships. I'll plead guilty. I do promote memberships because the more money I can make, the more money I can do stuff with, like give bigger prizes away. And I've always said that. 99 cents out of every dollar we make, it's all given away to you guys. Look how much we gave to the Kids Wish Foundation this year. I mean, that's what we do. So I don't know. I just don't, I can only assume, I'm stuttering here. I can only assume that people knows there's a share button. Everybody has a share button below the video you're watching, even this one. There's a share button. You click that share button, and then you'll have options of people you can share this video, this one, or any other one with your people on your phone or your list of people you have. You can send it to your niece, your cousin, your whoever. And I can only assume people knows how to do that because, I mean, YouTube, and I only assume that people know these things because if they're watching YouTube at all, they're probably watching one of 50 different YouTube channels, and all of them mention that. Share the video, share the video. So I don't mention that because I know they've heard it 100 times. So they should know how to share a video. But there's, they don't have to, of course, but it does help the channels out when you do. I did that for a long time, Bill Rizzo. I put out a video every day, 7 days a week for nearly 5 years. It's a lot of work, a lot of effort. I'm not doing that anymore. It's a full-time job, seriously. It's going out for 2 or 3 days and video. You got to be a week ahead. And you got to video tons of stuff. And when you're the only YouTuber here, that came easy because anything I videoed was new to everybody because nobody else was doing it. Now, all I'm going to do is video tons of stuff just to find out somebody else done that last week, somebody else done this yesterday, and I just don't want to do that. Sam says, why don't I show my likes? I don't know what you mean by that, likes. You mean like the like? I can tell you like on this right here, I got the stuff in front of me. Maybe you guys do too. I don't know what you see. I got 120 people here, and I've only got 64 thumbs up. And that's usually how it goes. And it's about 50-50 on the lives. But when it comes to the replay of this, in 3 or 4 days, maybe, there might be, say, I don't even know. I can't even guess. Let's say there's 2,000 views, which is not that many at all. But if I got 2,000 views, I'll still have the same 67 thumbs up. Nobody does it. They just don't do it. Well, Rick says, only do the things you enjoy. Well, I enjoy doing all of it. The lives I enjoy because this is like a one-on-one. I just can't see you, but I'm talking to you guys. And I get all kinds of feedback, and I like that. But the truth of it is, only do the things I like and forget about the rest. It doesn't pay the bills. And, this is like a part-time job for me. So I gotta grow the channel. I gotta do it in such a way that we're making X amount of dollars on the channel. Everybody does it for the dollars. If they tell you they're not, they're lying to you. The X amount of dollars I make, I use very little of that for my studio and stuff and our time. But majority of the dollars I make, I give it back to you guys. In shipping costs, we mail out coffee cups to people, we mail out road maps to people, we mail out newspapers to people, magazines to people. Or sometimes just like this month, we bought the gift card that was re-gifted for next month for the game show. We give a lot of this money back to you guys. And then, of course, we got the Wish that we send money down there to. And, so that's just what I use my channel for. Well, Becky, it's all well and good, say Ira and Robin are great. I should have them on more. I just can't have them on every month. They got things to do. Ira's got a full-time job. This is the problem. He has a YouTube channel, which is like a part-time job, but he's one of them that's got a staff. He doesn't set the cameras up and all this and that. He's got somebody that does that for him. I'm the guy doing all this. And it's easier when you got a staff. I don't have a staff. And if I did, it'd be more money out of my pocket to pay for one. But, yeah. And then Robin's the same way. She's got a full-time job. You just can't yank people in off the street that's got full-time jobs. Plus, she has activities she likes to do. And she does the pickleball nuts. She goes to all these contests. She travels the state of Florida to go to these different contests for pickleball and things like that. It's just hard to get. You just can't. I figure if they want to come on the show, here's how I figure it. They know where I am. They all got my phone number. Robin's got my phone number. Ira's got my phone number. They all got my phone number. And if they want to come on the show, all they got to do is call and say, hey, can we schedule me being on your show in April? Can we schedule being on your show next May? And then we'll work it out. And that's what most of them do. Now, Ed, that was on the show, that was Linda's creation. She knows Ed, and she set that up. Kelly, I set up because I put out that invitation, like on here or something, and she answered me with an email, and I contacted her, and we set it up. So, that's how I don't get in my car and go around and knock on doors and say, hey, can I get you to be a guest on my show? You'll be surprised how many emails. That's the way people do it nowadays, is emails. And I've sent out so many emails to people I think would be fairly interesting for you people. Everything that I do on the show, I want it to have something to do about the villages, no matter what it is. And I've sent out a lot of emails to a lot of people that either they don't read their emails, or they've read them and decided they don't want to be on the show, and that's their decision, or they have a staff that is inept, and they don't even know what the hell they're doing. I don't know, because I sent emails out to what I think should be something that they should respond to. Because keep in mind, whenever I have a guest on the show, it doesn't necessarily have to be live. If you guys watched the Wish show, and we had the interview with Gia and her mother, the Wish kid, we done that off air. And then I brought it on the air like it was live. So we can do it that way. If people don't want to be on live, I can edit it and do it in a different fashion. And I tried to explain that to people, but I don't know if I know what I'm talking about. So anyway, just keep in mind that this ain't my full-time job, and I'm not going to dedicate 8 and 10 hours a day running around the villages 7 days a week looking for stuff to do. Have a WNL team meeting. Funny thing, Joy. Actually, almost the whole team is going to meet over at O'Shucks one of these days. It's up to Linda, actually, of what day. And we're going to go there for lunch. It's not a meeting. We just all decided we're going to run over there one day for lunch. And I actually did think about taking a camera, maybe videoing a little bit. It's going to be kind of hard to get some kind of decent video in there because, hey, it's a dark bar. There's like no lighting in there. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If you go back in some of the videos, I used my camera one day, way back when we first moved here. I bought the first motorhome. Here's the crux of the story. We went over there and we was packing the motorhome, cleaning it up and getting things put in it. Later that night, we're heading home. We hadn't had anything to eat, me and Sue. We hadn't had anything to eat. I said, well, let's go down here and we'll stop at one of the fast food places and get something to eat before we go home. Because she didn't feel like cooking. She was tired and I was tired. On the way down to Wildwood, everything's closed. There's nothing open. I couldn't believe it. I'm from the north. We just moved here. I'm not used to restaurants closing up at 8 o'clock, you know. So everything was closed. And I said, well, let's go down to Oh Shucks. It's a neighborhood bar. We'll get a burger and a beer or something. I know they got to be open. So we go down there and we're talking to them. I took my cell phone out and just for a short order, I said, I'm just doing a video inside Oh Shucks. I can't believe Sue and come in here with me and this and that. And we were on maybe, I don't even know how long, 2 or 3 minutes. And I think I put that on YouTube. So I actually did do video inside of Oh Shucks with my cell phone. Cheryl says, I like when you show pre-owned homes for sale. I do too. I like to do walkthroughs on homes because I like to pick things out because I've been here long enough and seen so much that I can pick out some changes. I can give you some critical things that I see that a lot of people disagree with. No matter what you say, there's always people that'll argue about it. But the difference between me telling you something and them disagreeing with me is this. I have video that shows proof of what I'm talking about. It isn't like I'm making it up. What they're saying to me in chat has no proof at all. It's just them talking, and we can't prove any of that. That's the difference. Keep that in your mind. But I just can't knock on doors and say, can I walk through your house? You know, I got to be invited. And I don't think I've ever turned down an invitation if I was here. Saying, hey, we just bought this house. I don't care if it's new or pre-owned. Would you be interested in coming down and doing a video? I said, yeah. And I always say, yeah. And sometimes they want to be in a video. Sometimes they don't. I'll do either or. I don't care because to me, the video isn't about the homeowner. The video is about the house. So if they want to be in the video, then I'll start asking them questions. What made you decide on this house as opposed to another house? The location. I mean, I may ask them if they want to be in the video. If they don't want to be in the video, then those questions are not going to be asked because they don't want to be in the video. The other thing that I'm never going to ask, and I wish people would quit asking me this stuff. I'm not a realtor. I don't sell houses. Don't ask me questions that you need to be calling a realtor and asking. I don't sell houses. People will say, well, how much was that? How the goddamn hell do I know? I don't sell houses. Do you guys understand that? I don't sell goddamn houses. Quit asking me real estate questions. Oh, God, I got that out of my system. How many subscribers did I lose then? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's my sense of humor right there. I guarantee you somebody takes offense to that, and I'm just joking around. You got to know my sense of humor. Remember, I'm an old trucker. Hey, if we have a meeting over there, Joy, you want to come? I mean, you're a member. You want to come? We'll get 50 people over there. I don't know where we're going to sit. We'll be sitting on the floor. How many enjoy when someone stops by porch setting? That's Kelly asking that question. I'm just reading it. I think a lot of people like that. But the problem with porch setting is I don't have any fancy setup out there at all. It's the same setup I'm using right now. The iPad and a cheap lapel mic. That's it. I'm using the camera on the iPad here. I'm using the microphone through the iPad. There's nothing fancy at all. And let me see if I can turn this around and show you something. If I don't get this pointed just right, watch the picture and see if it gets dark. Well, it's really not going to do it here, is it? Yeah. Well, it is right there. Kind of. See how that got dark? Yeah, I can't. I'm inside here, so it's hard to get it to do it. But it's that automatic lighting. Yeah. And when I'm outside and the sun is on this, it's different. The sun is so bright that if I have this pointed the wrong direction, you guys can't hardly see nothing. It's just black. And I have to get this set just right to be able to see. Well, in order to get this just right, it's got to set a certain way. And then in order for me and Sue to be in this cheap little camera that's in this thing, that little thing right there, we have to be far, let me back up. See, I'm getting dark because of this light behind me. We got to be back this far from the camera so she can be sitting like right here. And that's quite a ways away to adjust everything. Let me get closer, get closer, get closer, and see how it's lightening back up. This is all the setup stuff. When I have 3 people that show up, it's hard to get them in. So now what we end up doing is taking this somehow, some way. Try to imagine a couple of chairs over here. I have to get this at an angle to be able to get everybody here in the picture. Or if the sun's just right, get this so far away from us back there that we can fit 3 people in this camera setting. And you know, it's just, and I'm not satisfied with the picture quality of the camera in this thing either. I mean, I would love to be able to take one of my big cameras out there and set it up with a microphone, an overhead boom mic, and all that to do port setting. But just to set up there, it just seems, that's just, I just don't want to do it. And then, of course, you got the wind. I don't know how that boom mic would work in the wind. So I just don't do it. I'd like to keep things simple. This is simple. Set it down, turn it on, plug the mic in, that's it. But then when you start adding things to this, it gets more difficult. 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. Joy said, yeah, I'll come to O'Shucks. I know you will. Have you ever been to O'Shucks, Joy? If you ain't, let me just say, it's an eye-opener. Mark Berry's got Deb's picture on there. Yeah, I'm going to have to go in there and change some of those things in there for the YouTube members. There's certain things as a YouTube member they have access to that nobody else does. Like if you look at Mark Berry's thing right there, he's got a picture of Deb. That's a membership. If you look next to Deb, you see something. I forget what that is. It looks like a police badge, maybe. A police badge shows me that he's a member, a YouTube member. The wrench next to Mark, and also Mark's name is in blue, as opposed to everybody else's name, shows me that Mark is also a moderator. And he helps out with everything I do live by, he can throw people off the channel for, you know, not being kind, so to speak, not harassing people. And there for a while, and you can ask Mark, there for a while, and I don't know what happened to all of them, but we were getting Russian sex channels popping on here. I don't even know where they were coming from. I put most of them in YouTube jail. I have to copy their name and actually paste it in the YouTube jail. And we haven't had any for quite a while. So maybe I got them all. Becky says you may have gained some. Oh, you mean by my little rant? No, I doubt it. Can I give my email again? Well, fly on the wall, my email, just so everybody else knows, is in the description box below. I know if you're watching on TV, you don't have a description box. Your cell phone, you do. But my email is G1, just remember Grumpy, G1RUMP2Y@gmail.com. I'm trying to see, and I don't see. Maybe I don't have it on my cell phone. Let me see here if I got, well, I can't show you on here either, can I? I'm going to see where, I see everything else. I see super chats down here. Those of you that don't know how to do super chats on a cell phone, I'm just showing you. I'm not begging. I'm just going to show you. See that little $sign down there in the comments on the cell phone? That's how you send a super chat. 2222. And just so you know that whenever we do question and answers live, If you send a super chat and put your question in the super chat, you go immediately to the top of the list of questions to answer. Just letting you know. It's always been that way. This is nothing I've just made up. It's always been that way. Mark Mary sent $2, but he has no question. He just says $2. See, and when you send $2 or whatever you send, that's how it comes up. Now, when we have question and answer, you can actually attach a question to that in there. And then when that comes up and there's a question, right away, I got a thing up at the top where I can move you to the top of the list of questions to answer. And it also gets our attention because sometimes there's so many questions, we miss them. We just miss them. But if they come up like that, as you can see, you can't miss that. I mean, it's there. Well, see, I don't know. See, flying at the wall, that gets into a lot of stuff there that you're hitting on. He's got a good point. He's got a point, kinda. I'm just going about how my head works. Says one idea for a video for you and Sue would be about how inflation has affected the cost of things. Here's my immediate reaction to that, and I'm not insulting or anything. Don't take it the wrong way. My immediate reaction is it affects us the same way it affects everybody else in the country. There's no difference. We're just one town. That's all we are. We're just a town with grocery stores and shopping in it. So however inflation affected you, wherever you live, it affects us the same way. The only difference is most of the population here is on a fixed income. So we don't really have a chance to recoup anything next payday. It's the same. So people that are on a tight budget, they start cutting back. And that's where I was for. So I talk to a lot of people that you guys don't see. And basically, my heart goes out to a lot of the people that retired in the 80s, yes, in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, that live in the historical side up there. When they retired, their pension back in the day was substantial for the time. And then today, with inflation and COVID and the amenity fees going from back in the day, they were paying $50. Today, it's 180, getting there. You can see where I'm going with this. The price of food, all this stuff. And when they were talking about freezing the amenity fees for, say, a year, I thought it was a good idea. Even if they just do it in one section, which I know they can't. They're going to say, well, that's discriminatory. You can't do that. But I thought it was a good idea because it would help those people out maybe to give them a little bit of breathing room to sit back for a year and decide, well, I can budget my money better because everything's going to stay the same now for at least a year. And then they can decide, should I sell the house and buy a smaller one? Should I sell the house and move to another area? Sell this car and buy a cheaper. There's just things that maybe they could do. And then, of course, politics here is what it is. I don't generally talk about it. Politics sucks. Politics is about, I'm not sure what it's all about, especially here. CDD representatives, district supervisors, all these people. As far as I'm concerned, I'll put it out there, 90% of these people suck. They're all in the developer's hip pocket. They do whatever they got to do to get reelected to something that I don't know. All I know is they're not doing a damn thing that actually helps anybody else. They can't even take a piece of crap property that somebody's let to go to hell in a handbasket and make them clean it up, even though we have rules against it. All they can ever do, and you hear it on the news all the time, $50 a day fine. We're giving you 30 days to get it back in compliance, or a $50 a day fine until you do get it back in compliance. So what? The guy says, well, I'm going to stay here till I'm dead anyway. Stick it to me. I don't care. He don't care. And they're not going to, well, we don't have no authority to actually tow away an abandoned vehicle that's sitting on village property. What? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Oh, Land Girl, $9.99. See, now that's how it comes up. See? That's how it comes up. Now, she didn't have a question, but if she was to type the question like right in there, that little blank space there, I think that's how it comes up. When we do the question and answer thing, I usually have Sue here when we do those, by the way, because she knows more about, you're going to ask about bills, like how much is electric, how much is gas, how much is property taxes, and you're looking at the dumbest guy in the world when it comes to that. I don't know all that. I don't want to know all that. And to be honest with you, I'll put it out there. I'll tell you, I told her, I said, I want to set up all these bills that's automatic pay, everything that we can. I said, because if something happens to you tomorrow, because as you guys know, Sue has a serious illness and we're getting old. So if something happens to you tomorrow, I want to know these bills are going to be paid because I don't know how to do it. Now, I know that sounds dumb. I know you're going to say I should know how, and you're right, I should know how. But if it's automatic pay, at least I know for a month or two while I'm trying to recoup and get things together, what I need to do after everything's done and over. Those are going to be paid until I figure things out. Because the facts are this. If I pass away tomorrow, Sue gets half of my UPS pension. I had that set up that way. Then the way they set it up is I take less per month today because when I pass away, then she gets half of my pension tomorrow and for the rest of her life. And that's just what we did. I'm not saying everybody does that, but that's what we did. The way Sue's pension is set up, if she passes away tomorrow, I lose all of it. I don't get anything. I lose her Social Security. I lose whatever pension she's got from RCA. It's just gone. So the question would be, can I afford to stay here if she passes away tomorrow? It's a tough one. It would be tough. I would be one of them people up there looking for a way of cutting costs. Or should I sell the house and get something smaller? Or do I even want to stay in the villages and pay these fees? I'm going to take a guess that sitting here empty in this house doing nothing, my fees here, just the fees, that's include my property taxes, the bond payments, all this stuff. If you boiled it down per month, how much it costs per month right now, is probably close to $650 a month doing nothing. And I don't know. Maybe it's a little more than that now. So yeah, it's a hard look I'd have to take myself. Maybe sell the house and move somewhere else. So these are the things that, that I think about all the time. This little income I got here in this little channel right now isn't important to me. I mean, I give most of it away. The day may come where I would just tell you guys, I would make the announcement. The day may come where I'll say, I can't afford to give this stuff away anymore. So that means I'm going to have to start keeping the income and putting it in my pocket to help pay bills. I don't want it to be that way, but it may. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just trying to be honest with you. I know a lot of people don't like to hear these kind of stories, but in the retirement community, you better be prepared. I'm seeing this thing happen. I think we told you on Porch 7, 2 neighbors of ours last week passed away. 2. It happens. She said, you could add an on-screen reminder, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I could discern the Bible. I don't know how to do that. An automatic one. I mean, I'm sitting here on my iPad and my cell phone, and there's no way to actually hit an on-screen reminder saying, please hit there is none. Only thing I can do is actually tell you that. Now, in videos, I can do that. I got all kinds of stuff in there that I can add to the video saying, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit but be honest with you, I just feel like that's redundant. YouTube's been around long enough now that I don't care how old you are, I don't care how inefficient you are with any of this, you know what to do. You've heard enough of this that you know what to do to help the channel out. It's just a matter of people just making their mind up that, you know what, I like this guy, I'm going to help him out by hitting that thumbs up. It's not that hard. Laura says most employers in a private sector have discontinued pensions. You know, and I knew that day was coming. Everybody did. When they started this 401k thing, I seen it back then. I said, employers are going to take advantage of that, and they're going to end up making that the 401k a retirement plan. It's never been a retirement plan. Until this day, it's not a retirement plan, and it never will be a retirement plan. But they're convincing the new generation that don't know. I know. I'm the old generation. You know. You're the older generation. The young generation growing up, my grandchildren, they don't know. They think having a 401k is a retirement pension plan. And I hate it. I just hate that. Well, anyway, I'll just get out of here. I think we've chatted long enough. I didn't mean it to last this long, really. Basically, about the WNL show. Any concerns? Should WNL be an hour, not 2 hours? If it's only going to be an hour, just don't say, well, I think an hour is long enough. Then tell me what I need to cut. I mean, I got to cut an hour out of the program. And you tell me what I need to cut. Give me some ideas. What is it that you see if you watch 2 hours of it? And I bet you most of you don't. But if you watch 2 hours of it, what is it in the show that I could cut, or that you see that I could cut, that really you don't find very important? Is it the guests? You don't find the guests important? Is it, I don't know, the game? You don't care about the game one way or the other? I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Other than that, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to see what I want to do. Next Wednesday, if the weather's good, a little chilly today. I mean, it's sunny. I know you guys can see it, right? You guys, you know, that's one thing about doing it this way. I can actually walk with this. Let me start turn this around. You don't want to look at me. Yeah. Let me go outside here. See what you think. Whoops. Let's see about our mess. I mean, it's comfortable. Not really comfortable. I got shorts on. It's a little chilly. If it wasn't for that breeze, I don't think it'd be that bad. I'm in the backyard right now, as you full well know. You can see the sun. I mean, it's sunny. I'm just walking over here. See all that crap growing in it spreads underground. It's getting in my flower beds. I got to go there all the time and tear that stuff out. Whatever it's called. Where's my finger? Can't see my finger. That stuff right there. It looks like ferns. It gets in my flower because it comes from over there and spreads underground. I'm going to go to a weed killer one of these days and kill all of it. And dead tree right there. A little tree out was a palm tree. Cold weather must have got that. All these dead fronds here hanging down. They should be cut off. Tons of them over there. If you look over there, there's tons of dead fronds on the bottom of that tree. But anyway, our plants are dying out here because I left them out in the cold. I really don't care because this is Sue's idea of having all these plants. I say let them die. Buy artificial stuff. Because when we go traveling, now you got to bother your neighbors saying, hey, can you go over and water my plants while we're gone for a month? I hate that. I don't want my neighbors to depend on doing anything for me. And more in here. That's what I do to Heathel and I. And you guys probably can't see, let me back up. I hate this camera on this thing. I just open the door and just let the heat and air come out here. And then that's where I'm sitting. I'm just sitting at this table right here. That's my Jackery. I got it plugged into my phone to keep it charged up. If you guys don't have a Jackery, man, I'm telling you, get one. I use that thing all the time. I mean, let me get it over here. If you guys don't know what a Jackery is, I know probably most of you do. It's a portable power station. And the lighting's terrible, but you got a cigarette lighter plug here, 110 there, two USBs here. This is a charging station, and that right there, it tells you what the power is and all this and that. I ain't kidding you. I use this thing constantly. It's just a great little power source to have around the house. All right, let me turn it back around. More useless information, right? Okay, I think we're done with talking out here. Let me know. Send me emails. Let me know what you think about changes, because I'm going to do something. Cut WNL out altogether. That, you know, I don't get that many views on it anyway. Just do away with it. Just forget it. I can do that too. I got to make changes. By the way, it looks like we are going to leave the last of February and go to Rockport, Texas. I'll be there for a month. And then, of course, I'll be traveling the same route over, probably, and the same route back. But when I'm there, I'll be doing videos on the RV channel and traveling on the RV channel. There for that month, there probably won't be hardly anything on the Villages channel. It just takes too much time. The news takes a lot of time. You know, I'm going to do, if I can, before I go, I have thought about something. I'm going to do, if I know how to screen share this thing, I'm going to show you how much work it is to actually make the news. Putting the videos in, all the little quirky things you got to do to get things set up and all this and that. And I'm going to show you how to do one little news report, and then try to imagine a half an hour of that to give you an idea of what it takes to do it. And this is probably the reason why nobody else is doing it, because it takes so much work. And so I might do that on a Monday video sometime. Golf cart rides, yeah, I know that's about a 50-50 thing. Some people like them. Some people are bored with them because everybody does them. So I don't know. Let me know. Email G1RUMP2Y in the description box below, and I will read them. Guarantee you I read them. I read every one of them. Good or bad, I read them. So thanks for coming. Thanks for being my subscriber. I hate doing this. Hit the thumbs up. Share my videos. You've heard it a million times. Just do it.